Information and applications by return mail. Call Globe today at 1-800-553-6555. Call Globe right now.
In the next half hour, Weather Center AM, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, travel-wise with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch with the tropical update. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Well, your commute's been a wet one in New York City this morning. You'll have occasional showers and storms throughout the day there all across the Northeast as the rain is spreading across much of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic this morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Weather Center sponsored by 1010-321. I'm Bruce Edwards.
And I'm Kristen Dodd. Now, meanwhile, in the Midwest today, pleasant weather will replace yesterday's rain and thunderstorms. Not the case, though, in Denver, as you are going to see warm temperatures and more thunderstorms today. Dallas will have temperatures over the century mark. St. Louis will also be hot with some sun, while Hartford, Connecticut will see showers later on. Now, here's Bruce with all the details.
Thanks, Kristen, and good morning, everyone. The showers are not that far away from Hartford right now. As a matter of fact, the clouds are definitely there. You can see them strafing across New York and Pennsylvania and Jersey and east of the mountains. But I'll tell you, you get west of the Appalachians, it's not looking bad. Not in Ohio or Michigan or Indiana or Illinois. It's looking pretty good. But once you get to the Missouri River Valley, you start to see the clouds here into Kansas and Nebraska and Oklahoma. That's the tail end of a cold front, and that is still producing some precipitation. But no reports of any severe weather as of yet. And really through the heartland, and once you get out of Kansas and Oklahoma, the worst area for travel is across Minnesota and parts of Illinois. Widespread fog here and in lower Michigan, where yesterday you saw upwards of 5 inches of rain around Romulus, Michigan, and Wayne County. The Metro Airport in Detroit was closed for a while because of the flooding that occurred there as this low cruised through with the trough and triggered some real torrential downpours. But everything's quieting down now. The flooding is gone. The warnings have expired. And once we get rid of the fog, you'll be in pretty good shape. However, you still have wet weather marching ahead of that trough, and especially as you get into New York, Pennsylvania, and the upper Chesapeake Bay. That's where the rain is most substantial. Moving into New York City right now. And again, without too much longer, Hartford catches the sprinkles. We can see up through Albany and down to the Big Apple, we have occasional rain. But the real heavy stuff, central and southern Jersey back to Philly and D.C., that's where the more substantial rainfall is occurring right now. Dover down to Salisbury, Wilmington, Delaware. So again, the northeast corridor generally is pretty soggy. Now once you get south of D.C., still some rain down to about Richmond, and then things could improve considerably, although showers strafing the north side of Norfolk, and from Charlottesville to north of Roanoke, you're catching a few rain showers, nothing too nasty. Now, as you follow the frontal system dangling down through the Mid-South, Nashville's getting wet, and I-40 over to Knoxville is generally soggy, up around London and Corbin, Kentucky, and then follow I-40 back towards Jackson, Tennessee, and you still have some showers to contend with. Well, back into Kansas, the precipitation is weakening now near Wichita and Coffeyville and up towards Russell, although a few thunderstorms still lurk along the Kansas-Nebraska border. Look for this area to get really fired up later on today. The heat is there. You can see readings well into the 70s to near 80 degrees. And once we get rid of the fog, we'll be in good shape in Minneapolis. Chicagoland's at 72, 73 in the best location of the nation, Cleveland, Ohio. New York's at 69. Not a big warm-up today because of the clouds and wet weather. Kristen?
Heavy monsoon rains later today could lead to flooding in parts of the Southwest and Rockies. And meanwhile, you'll see rain in Florida, just where you need it. The wildfire situation remains very dangerous in Florida, but firefighters may be getting the upper hand in some areas. For example, crews say about 60% of the fires in Flagler County have been contained. The concern, however, is that without a good soaking rain, the fires may flare up again. You do have another chance of rain, however, where you need it, where those fires are burning south of Jacksonville down toward Melbourne. We're going to see our sea breezes kick up on both sides of the state today, and they will converge in the center this afternoon. And with stronger winds moving in out of the west, it looks like they will blow that rain over toward the east coast. It's dry right now on the east coast of Florida, except for a few stray showers just now beginning to develop near Titusville. We also have some heavier rain now in the Tampa area and Port Charlotte. Again, westerly winds moving across the state could push some of those showers and thunderstorms to the east coast of Florida and help dampen the fires. No tropical help and no disturbances of any concern for Florida. They would like to get some of the good tropical rain in the area, but it does not appear as that is going to be happening. We were watching a tropical disturbance in the Caribbean, but that has continued to push off to the west and will not be adding any moisture to Florida. We'll have more on that coming up in just a moment on Storm Watch. Elsewhere across the south, we do see a system that is pulling into the south, bringing in some showers and thunderstorms to Nashville, also Memphis. That will continue to be the case through the day, and some of this rain will be drifting farther to the south, and we could see some thunderstorms develop this afternoon in Atlanta and also in Birmingham, Alabama. We have been seeing the heavy rain throughout Oklahoma and also in Kansas. It looks like this is going to be pulling up farther to the north, and as it does so this afternoon, we will see heavy rain develop in Wichita and also in Topeka, where you could see over an inch of rainfall, and also the threat of strong to severe storms. And that will include the Denver area as well. Just south of there, you had some heavy rain and thunderstorms yesterday. You could see a repeat again today. We also could see some of the stronger storms here in the southwest, in Tucson and Phoenix, and also Albuquerque, New Mexico. That will be developing later on this afternoon. Right now, Atlanta has 79 degrees, 84 this hour in New Orleans, 81 in Houston, and Dallas, you have 84 degrees. It was a hot one yesterday in Texas and also in Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas, you warmed up to 106 degrees for a new record high. Even in Memphis, up to 101.
In this world, those who've had a flat tire and those who will. That's why there's Fix-A-Flat. The name says it all.
In the next half hour, Weather Center AM, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, travel-wise with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch with the tropical update. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
And precipitation is moving across the northeast. At some point today, every major city will see some wet weather. Good morning and welcome to Weather Center, which is sponsored by Nestle Carnation. I'm Mike Motley.
And I'm Mark Mancuso. A cold front is slipping south, and that could mean stormy weather for the mid-Atlantic states and for the southeast regions, while monsoon storms could create more flooding problems in the west. And the storms, once again, could create some minor flooding in the Denver area. Sunshine will push Dallas past the 100-degree mark again. Miami could see a storm later today, and showers will be moving into Boston after morning sunshine. Mike has more from the northeast.
And looking at the northeast, we're seeing lots of rainfall into the region this morning. We're seeing light to moderate showers from Washington, D.C., pushing away over the Chesapeake Bay. Back into central Virginia around Richmond along I-95. The heaviest rainfall towards Philadelphia and pushing towards Dover, Delaware, and into the east. Into northern Pennsylvania, still some showers around Scranton. Heavier rainfall into southeastern New York, and a line of thunderstorms just west of Binghamton tracking towards the east, making its way towards the Capital District and towards New York City. And we'll take a look at what it looks like in New York City. This is a shot of what it looked like this morning. This is what greeted commuters, some clouds and some sprinkles out there around the Brooklyn Bridge as folks are heading into lower Manhattan on the way to work. And it's just kind of cloudy and dreary, and you'll see more rainfall around New York City and off into Boston as our morning progresses into afternoon. Now looking at Boston, we're looking at dry skies around Beantown, but the rain, light showers back into Connecticut, making its way towards Providence. If I can step out of the way, I can show you a little bit more of the rainfall towards the west, light to moderate showers along Pittsfield and along the Massachusetts Turnpike, making its way towards Boston. A bigger view of the east shows our large band of showers, and it's pretty much light to moderate to heavy rainfall, not so much thunderstorms, but below our frontal boundary, we could see some thunderstorms towards Philadelphia and Washington later today. And we're seeing cloudy skies around the region, so just a gray and a yucky start to a Wednesday. Temperature 71 at Quincy Market in Boston. It's 70 at Central Park in New York. At downtown Philadelphia, Center City, 64. And on the Mall in the district, it's 68. Pittsburgh at 71. The showers have left the Golden Triangle. And looking at the east on our forecast features, there's that low pressure cell, the frontal boundary behind it, a warm front ahead of it, while the showers with that warm front and more activity coming on as the day rolls along. Now, looking at the Midwest, we're seeing a mix of sun and clouds there. Heavier clouds back into Missouri, where we're seeing rainfall down into Arkansas and Missouri and back into Kansas. Mark will have more on that. And looking at the surface features, a frontal boundary just south of Chicago with some cooler temperatures. 75 in the Windy City. Green Bay at 70. We're at 77 in Cincinnati. St. Louis at 82. KCMO at 80. Des Moines at 76. And at Sioux Falls, South Dakota, we're at 73. Now to look at the southeast and the west, here's Mark.
All right, thank you, Mike. And excessive heat advisories are in effect through tomorrow for a large portion of Texas and parts of Missouri, Arkansas, and Tennessee. The combination of heat and humidity could have the stressful feel of temperatures as high as 115 degrees. And that's in the shade. If you're in the sunshine, you can tack on another 10 to 15 degrees on top of that. So that's why we talk about dangerous heat in the south and why we really want you to take it easy here. Looking at the current temperatures, it's 88 in Little Rock. Last night, the temperature only dropped into the mid-80s. It stayed in the 90s most of the night. And already, it's a very hot and steamy morning. And you can see the steamy conditions all along the Gulf Coast. Miami, 87 degrees right now. Once again, we factor in the humidity, the moisture into the air, and you come up with a heat index. And you can see it feels like the upper 90s in Florida to 101 in Birmingham and Alabama. And of course, the heat index forecast will be very high today in the south into the danger zone. Already a hot, muggy morning. It should be a brutal afternoon. And if you're in the heat and you're indoors and AC is unavailable, try and stay on the lowest floor and out of the sunshine. And of course, keep your fluid intake up there and avoid alcoholic beverages. If you're outdoors and you're in this heat, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing. And if you have a lot of activities to do, try and do them during the early part of the day or late in the evening. And if you're out in that sun, make sure you have on that high SPF sunscreen, because if you get a sunburn and you're out in this heat, it'll just make matters worse. Well, there's been a trough easing its way through the south this morning, and it has been the gathering point for the moisture. And we've lifted that moisture, and we've seen some scattered thunderstorms develop from Oklahoma right across to Tennessee. And with these thunderstorms, there has been some very heavy rainfall. Let's close you into northeast Oklahoma. Tulsa, it's been very wet here this morning. Still raining, but the rain is tapering off as the drier air eases in from the west. Middle Tennessee, well, it's been a stormy one here. Now that rain easing down into Nashville. Looks like you'll have a wet lunch hour here. While farther east, the rain bearing down on Knoxville. To the south in Florida, where we really want some rain, good soaking rain, things quiet right now, but we do see storms off the east coast and west coast, and we do think there will be development over land later today, so there will be some much needed downpours. Now in the west, the flow of moisture continues up through the mountains. A little disturbance in Washington, producing some thunder showers near Walla Walla. A little rain continues.
Feels really clean, and my teeth are healthy. That's why I use Crest Multicare. It's got this great foaming action. It even kills bacteria to help leave my teeth clean and my breath fresh. For me, the best part is getting to work with the ladies.
Okay, girls, swim class.
Behind that healthy smile, there's a Crest kid.
Now your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
And you've had to contend with wet weather this morning in New York City, and rain will continue on and off throughout the day. Much of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic region are looking rather unsettled today. Good morning and welcome to Weather Center, brought to you by Carpet Institute. I'm Mark Mancuso.
And I'm Mike Motley. Parts of Pennsylvania and the Mid-Atlantic region there, the rain has been heavy, and it's been kind of a yucky, cloudy, dreary day in the Northeast. Lots of rain around Baltimore. And you had rough commutes around Philadelphia and other parts of the Northeast this morning. Looking at the radars, we'll get them into motion and show you what's happening. And the rain is leaving portions of Pennsylvania and Virginia, pushing towards the east over the Chesapeake Bay. But there is some more rain into Pennsylvania and more rain behind that with our system pushing through. Looking at the view of New York State, we are seeing some heavier showers into western New York. I'm trying to juggle all my papers in this clicker here. Some heavier showers into western New York, making their way towards Binghamton and Syracuse. We're seeing some clear skies towards Rochester and also towards Buffalo, but more moderate rainfall towards the Capital District. And just north of New York City, we're seeing some light showers there and around New York City also. Some of the regions that have some flood warnings in effect include Steuben County in central New York. That's over towards Corning right about here. And some other warnings want to pass along to you. Wyoming County in western New York, just west of Buffalo, right here has a flood warning in effect. Also Huntingdon County in central Pennsylvania, flood warning until 1:45 this afternoon. And also into Mifflin County into eastern central Pennsylvania has a flood warning until 2 p.m. Now looking at what's happening into Massachusetts, Boston's been lucky, seen a little sun, but the showers are close to you towards Hartford and western Massachusetts, towards Pittsfield, coming along the Mass Turnpike. Chance for showers later today in Beantown. A bigger view of the east shows all the rainfall, much of it now pushing off into the Atlantic Ocean. So that's good news after a dreary start into the northeast, but still that rain into New York State, and we're seeing drier skies over Pittsburgh. Yeah, looking at the satellite, you can see all the cloud cover, the heavier clouds with the showers into the Empire State from Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and going back into portions of Virginia, where we could see some thunderstorm activity there later today. Temperatures, we're at 70 in Boston right now. We're at 70 also in New York City. Philadelphia 63, Washington, D.C. at 69. We're at 72 in Pittsburgh, and Burlington, Vermont at 68. Surface features show a frontal boundary, a cold front back into the Midwest, a warm front towards the south, and we're bringing showers or spring showers towards the north into New Jersey and Pennsylvania. An area of low pressure fueling this as it moves towards the east. Into the Midwest, a mix of sun and clouds. Fog around Indianapolis this morning and around Minneapolis too. Mainly dry skies in the Midwest, a fizzle out of showers towards just north and east of Madison, Wisconsin. And there are the surface features into the Midwest. A trough going across the Ohio River Valley, cold front just touching the southern suburbs of Chicago. Chicago at 77, also 77 in Cleveland, 71 in Minneapolis, and 79 in Des Moines. What about the heat and the southeast? Mark's here with the story.
All right, thanks, Mike. Those 77s sure sound nice to those of you who are waking up in Birmingham, Little Rock, and Dallas. It's going to be another very hot day in the south, particularly Texas. Heat advisories are in effect there again today. Much of the Lone Star State could be looking at temperatures soaring over the century mark again. Looking at the temperatures, it's 88 in Little Rock, 88 in Dallas, 88 in Houston, a very hot, humid morning. Gets even hotter in New Orleans, it's 89, it's 90 in Panama City. So it's a steamy, hot, humid morning here, and looking at the heat index combining the air temperature and the humidity comes into 106 in Birmingham. And at 105 degrees, that's when the human body starts to feel stressed out. So if you're in this area in particular, you are right in the middle of the heat index forecast into the danger zone. So what you want to do is that you want to slow down and take it easy and get inside in the air conditioning. But if air conditioning is unavailable, stay on the lowest floor of your house. You know, heat rises and stay out of the sunshine. If there's the sun coming in through that window, you don't want to be near that. Drink fluids, even if you don't feel thirsty, and stay away from the alcoholic beverages. They will not help you out. You're working out in the yard, you come on in and you have a beer. That's not what you want to do. You want to have a nice big glass of water. And wear lightweight, light-colored clothing, and of course, exposed skin should be covered up with a high SPF sunscreen. Don't need a sunburn on top of things. Well, across the south, we still have high pressure here. To the north, though, this purple line is a trough, and that's the gathering point for scattered storms, thunder and lightning here, all down to the south in Florida. Things just starting to refire once again, but at the present time, the lightning storms have moved offshore. But the wildfire situation remains very dangerous, and firefighters may be getting the upper hand in some areas. For example, crews say about 60% of the fires in Flagler County have been contained. Concern, however, is that without a good soaking rain, fires will be flaring up again. And on the radar, scattered showers are popping up on the radar here. Seen a lot here around Tampa this morning, and another round coming on in. But with the heating of the day, we should see pretty decent coverage here over the peninsula, as we've seen the past couple of days. Rain with the trough moving down through Tennessee, easing towards Chattanooga, and to the west in Oklahoma, rain moving away from Tulsa. In the west, little surprise, an upper air disturbance bringing some thunder showers to northern Idaho, but to the south in the monsoonal flow, well, we don't see too much happening in through here in Phoenix and Tucson, but last night we have localized flooding and a lot of wind in Phoenix, knocking down some power lines. Currently in Phoenix, it's 80, in Vegas, 89. Mike?
And looking at the forecast for this afternoon, we're looking for some more rain around the area of low pressure into Kansas. Some heavy thunderstorms possible with this system. Some more rainfall into portions of northern New Mexico and southeastern Colorado. Could see some flooding later on today from the system and that monsoonal flow. Looking at rainfall totals, they could be pretty heavy into Kansas, around an inch or so into central and western Kansas, so over towards Goodland, down towards Wichita. Could see an inch or more of rain. Also into northern Oklahoma, you've seen thunderstorms around Oklahoma Kansas City and Ponca City and Tulsa overnight. You're seeing possibilities of an inch of rain, too, as more rain will come from that system later today. Rainfall back into Arizona from that monsoonal flow, and rain up into portions of Wyoming. And into the east, we're seeing heavy rainfall into Pennsylvania and lower New York from the Capital District down towards New York City. Lots of rain and rain towards Baltimore early this morning, around an inch or so. Temperatures will be rather warm again, as Mark noted, around 100 degrees over much of the Lone Star State, and 90s in the southeast, overnight lows in the 70s, and even some overnight lows in the 80s in Arkansas, into California and southern Arizona.
And in Arizona, things kind of quiet now, but yesterday we had problems with flooding. Will that occur again today?
The story on TravelWise after your local forecast.
This program was sponsored by the Carpet and Rug Institute.
Can't wait until the furniture comes.
Me too. Can I have the remote?
I am so glad the furniture came.
Me too. Can I have the remote?
It's soft. It's warm. It's the best seat in the house. New carpet. It just feels better.
Why is America on America Online?
Email's great.
It's fast, it's responsive.
I just click and I'm there.
I can't even use a copy machine and I can do it.
With Total, it's the only leading cereal that's an excellent source of calcium, even before adding milk. In fact, Total has more calcium than the milk itself. No other leading cereal